Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
About 3.
All right, we might be.
It's like in 2020.
Oh, it was in 2020.
It's a little like Northern Long-Eared Bat, little short little documentary.
Okay, that was before my
It
time,
was
so
very
maybe.
cute.
All right, I think. And although it's not coming to there, it is. All right, we're at it. All right, I'm gonna go ahead and call the August 15th, 2024 Monroe County Environmental Commission meeting to order. First on the agenda is quorum confirmation. We don't do roll call since we don't have anybody on chat. So we have quorum. Second on the agenda is public comment. Is there anybody from the public on team meetings that would like to make a comment? Seeing none, we'll move to the next. I unfortunately I wasn't at the last meeting that we had in May, so I don't have those meetings that, the minutes. Andrew had those, so I don't have those for us to approve. I apologize. So we're moving right through this. Next on the agenda is report from council, and Peter is not with us today. So we'll go to number 5 on the agenda,
Which is the report for me
which is report from Councilor Jones,
and
Commissioner
Commissioner.
Jones, sorry.
No, I have nothing to report. The
Okay.
truth is, this was Peter's project.
Mhm.
And he needed a commissioner involved with him, so I agreed to do that.
Mhm.
I never agreed to take it on myself.
Mhm.
And Peter has now just kind of dropped out. We no longer have an intern. And I just don't have the time to take it on, which is really unfortunate because it's a whole lot of the way there.
Mhm.
And maybe it would be worth asking Kelsey Thetonia to come into a meeting and tell us what is generally believed to still be needed. And a lot of that was stuff that was going to require like subcommittees, probably with other people appointed to them, to work on specific things and whatever. And we'll have to find someone who can organize all of that.
Was Peter in the May meeting, or has he not been here?
I don't know him having been here.
Yeah, the last meeting that we actually.
I'm not sure he's still.
But there's nobody who's heard anything definite from him one way or the other, because I know he was obviously knee deep in campaigning for a while, but.
Yeah.
That's past now, so.
And I think that he's done enough meetings on Zoom so he can't, or on Teams, so he can't do that again now. He has to be present.
Oh, yeah, haven't.
So it needs somebody else to just lead.
Yeah, to kind of push it forward and all, and there actually might be people on the Blue Ribbon Commission who would be willing to do that. I don't even really have, well, I suppose I could find it somewhere. I don't have easy access to who's on the commission. Since nothing's happened with it since probably January or December. I don't really know if anyone who agreed to be on it is still interested at all. It just kind of got dropped and.
And that
Which is
commissions have to
unfortunate.
have a liaison, that's a county employee.
No, not necessarily. I mean, I would still technically be chair,
I'm
but
sorry, as far as this commission though, because you're saying Peter, maybe stepping back, so we need.
we need a
county employee
we need a
on this
county
commission.
council member.
We need a council member.
Yeah, on
Okay.
this commission,
All right.
which they'll automatically consider that
Mm.
next in January.
Yeah.
Or the end of December.
Mhm.
If you like, I can ask Trent, who's president, to see if Peter wants to continue and maybe try to appoint someone else if he doesn't.
Okay,
Um,
yeah, I can reach out to Peter, or I can ask Andrew since he's president, if he wants to reach out to Peter and see what his current stance is.
sure.
Is there anything that this body can do to help with that, or is it just too big of a time commitment probably?
I think once we kind of have it organized, there probably would be. Because as I say, I think there'll have to be a number of different subcommittees. And maybe if we could each take on, agriculture would be one of those, which is something I would want to do. But probably about all I would take on.
I'm sorry, for the subcommittees, you said subcommittees of this commission? Or
No,
subcommittees of-
it's the Blue Ribbon
oh, is that the
Commission.
Ribbon Commission?
And really, the last meeting was, well, pretty promising. And I really think that the product that we have so far is pretty good. So it just kind of needs a push to take it to the end. And, which we had hoped would have happened this spring, and some of it is that, Victoria, was that her name? The intern we had big plans for all the things that she wanted to see kind of included in the plan that weren't there yet. It might be that it's not really necessary to get all those things done. It's supposed to be a living document, so we can always, add things later on. Maybe what would be most useful is if we all look at it and see if maybe it's worth us approving now, or at least maybe with some modifications. And then bring it to the commissioners and we could approve it, which would at least mean that it exists.
Right.
And then we could continue to modify it as necessary.
And you said that intern is no longer there.
No, and she was through the Resiliency Institute, and Peter had all the contacts there and everything, and I think they look on us as being done.
Yeah, that's what I think Peter said, yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
So,
Well, done in terms of McKinney Fellow,
yeah. I
yeah,
think
not
so.
the Ribbon Commission necessarily, because that should.
Well, I think Victoria did submit it to
Ooh.
the Resiliency Institute,
Hmm.
and I don't think we ever heard the results of that.
Okay.
So it might really be worth seeing if Kelsey Setonia could attend our next meeting and kind of, she was working very closely with Peter on this. She's our stormwater director.
Yep.
And she might be able to, kind of point us in the right direction and help us get it started again.
Or is that document somewhere that we can access it?
It should be.
Peter would have it, I imagine. Yeah.
Peter would definitely have it. I don't know if he's maybe, put it in whatever Dropbox has become,
Yeah,
which I haven't managed to mess with yet.
all right, yeah, I'll see if we can send that out before our next meeting.
Yeah.
Yeah. we'll look for it. All right, anything else you'd like to bring up?
Well, we still haven't quite got solar started, although it's supposed to be any time now.
Was there an update regarding EVs?
Not really at this point. It's something we really need to get to that. We're honestly pretty overwhelmed right now and having a hard time really keeping all the plates spinning, as Julie says.
Yeah, if memory serves, I think we were talking about the police department doing a demo at one point in time. Was one
Yeah,
where they left it.
I think they did that somehow. It all got taken out of like the commissioners or council's hands. And I think they're just working directly with the police or the sheriff now.
They went rogue with the E EVs.
I think they kind of did, yeah. But it's not something that we've lost interest in. So I would guess if we can ever get things moving forward on this stupid jail, we'll be able to get back to these things and start making some of the moves again.
Yeah,
On the solar, was there any, it's just getting it going
Well,
or?
I should ask for an update on it because we signed a contract.
Yeah,
It's possible that they might be working out at the garage right now and I don't know about it. It's been a while
it's been
since
like 4 months or so since y'all.
It's-
at least.
it's been a while, yes, so, and I think it's work that they kind of want to get done pretty soon.
It was better.
Yeah. Yeah, I'll try to check into that and see where we're at.
Great, thanks. All right, next item on the agenda is reports from commission members or comments from commission members. Does anybody have anything?
it's good to be back.
Good with that? Yeah. Yeah, I wasn't here at the last meeting that we had, which was with Jackie Nestor
Yeah,
on the development ordinance.
yes,
So I guess, has there been anything, and I need to watch the video to see what was discussed, but has there been, I guess, where is that at now and what role might we play, if any?
well, I think, it's the comprehensive plans, so that's rezoning is one portion of that. And then subdivision, various things like that. I think that there's a new draft out,
I think that's all.
which we were looking at last week. And they keep on, it's on their website. And they've got the old draft still there, but there's a new draft. We're, oh gosh, when is it? I'm pretty sure we have a meeting scheduled to, I think a public hearing is scheduled, I think in September.
Yeah, it seems to, that one of our areas we thought the commission would be influential potentially was the grading of development before the state legislation passed. So I didn't know if there was any other areas that
Well-
might be more pertinent to us or not.
We've just had to change a number of the ordinances to
Yeah.
reflect that. And we're doing the best we can to still exert quite a bit of control over it through our new stormwater ordinance, which is it's a pretty good ordinance,
How so?
at least in my opinion.
How do you think it deals with the, check about the slip school?
With just a lot of regulations. Basically, what we're going to do is make it more expensive for people to do that, which maybe isn't that nice, but we don't want that happening
enough.
where we can avoid it.
Hmm.
And we've hired another inspector. So she or he will be keeping a close watch on anything that's built on a 24% slope. One of the things that I want to look into is that I really think that places like that probably need a yearly inspection even after they're done. And I don't know if we have staff to do that. But, you know, they can put in all of these erosion measures and everything and then not ever take care of them. And things then get pretty bad. And well, one of the things that the inspector will be doing, one of our big problems is that before anyone can start building, they have to have a building plan that is accepted by the plan commission. And a lot of people are getting their plan accepted and then going and doing whatever they want to do. So that's something we're trying to crack down on.
Yeah, it looks like the last draft was posted August 2nd, and there's that public meeting on September 24th.
Yeah,
That's 5:30 in the courthouse.
yeah, and that would be an important one to get to because that's where everyone comes and complains about everything. And if anything positive can be said, it helps a whole lot.
So our September meeting will be on the 19th, so it'll be the week before that meeting.
Great, then I'll try to keep track of where things are by then.
Right, any other,
I will say this, our very strong desire to pass this by the end of the year.
and that looks possible.
I think so. I mean, that's what everyone is aiming for. And we're basically, it's another living document and it's not going to be perfect. I mean, there are already obvious changes to be made in it, which are probably being made right now. So when it's passed, it's not going to be like that's that. You know, we'll have to keep on modifying it and making sure it's working.
Any other comments or reports from commissioners? Commission members, sorry, they're not that important.
Commission years.
All right, old business. I had blue ribbon commission update, but I think we've covered that. And I had the Monroe County Development Ordinance. I guess I just jumped the gun on that. New business.
I would still like to pursue a tree policy,
That's right.
which,
Yeah.
and I mean, I've been guilty of not actually pushing it forward. But I think, maybe if we could, well, yeah, if we could possibly have it on the agenda for next month. And, I'll try to find links to some of the ones that already exist. Probably Bloomington Planning has something, and so does Highway. Both of which would probably be incorporated or at least referenced in anything we came up with. And then we could see what the city, I think the city has a pretty strong one, so I want to take a look at that. And if anyone has a suggestion for anywhere else, which hopefully would be topography somewhat like what we're dealing with here. But also someplace that might have a tree policy, which like Owen and Greene County, I kind of doubt. Brown County is more like here. It might. Yeah. That might be a good one.
And the main components of what you would see as a good policy would be things like replacing trees that are taken down and.
Yeah, that would be a whole lot of it, or even, well, and then also possibly, I think the city, you have to act trees above a certain DBH. you have to actually get permission to take them down. I don't know if that would go over in the county at all.
Not at all.
It could be difficult. One of the things that I'm constantly, after Parks and Rec about is to not remove every bit of the debris when they take a tree down.
And then trees are getting.
Yeah, and I kind of nourish the forest and.
Stinks with carbon.
Yeah, it's kind of needed. So, you know, we want to incorporate that in some sense. I doubt that we can tell landowners to make big brush piles, if they don't want to, but we could we could at least encourage it. Something else that I want to do with it is, Parks and Rec's naturalist. I want to ask him for a list of trees for various different conditions that would do well here. This is something that we've been hearing a bit about since the last big storm is, you know, people who had ashes and poplars and things that were kind of damaged and they came down and they're wondering what would be good to replace them with.
And be Bloomington, all on board.
Oh.
And while they aren't able to comment on like a county plan, they have resources that we can look at. So they have trees that they regularly plant.
Oh, great. Yeah, that'd be certainly helpful. Anything you might be able to get to us about that would help certainly.
All right. Any other new business? All right, is there a motion to adjourn?
Well, actually, there's one other thing I do want to bring up.
All right.
A new site has been proposed for the jail.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Which, and I haven't yet identified exactly what piece of property it is, but it's property that I go past pretty frequently.
So I passed out this film.
No, this one is on Vernal Pike, just east of Curry Pike, kind of behind the park
Oh.
there. And in that general area. And a lot of that is really good habitat. I mean, lots of people would call it scrubland. But
Some rare habitat.
yeah, and whereas out at North Park, it's good for cows. So I would prefer the cows to be, yeah.
Are they currently using that for cattle? Or,
At North Park,
Yeah.
I know they have been, I'm not sure
I
if
think
they
there
are
was-
right at the moment.
yeah,
And
would you like to see the commission? I don't know if it's too soon or too early to
It
put that on the
would
agenda for
be-
next month to
it-
actually take some sort of vote on it,
possibly,
recommendation or what?
or if something comes up where any of you might be able to come and testify, I'll let you know. At this point, we're kind of still saying that as far as we're concerned, North Park is where we're going. We're just waiting on the level 2 environmental to be 100% sure, but we have heard that it doesn't look like there are any problems at all. So we're going to attempt to get that through. There are people on the council who may not agree to give us the budget for that. And if that happens, you know, if that turns into a problem, that's when we need some backup.
Is the North Park site more expensive?
It is more expensive. It's, well, for one thing, people in Ellettsville are all in an uproar over it. It is not in their jurisdiction. They really, it doesn't really affect them particularly at all. I am not happy about putting it right across from a trailer park of people. It's a real community in there. And I don't know, it's always those kind of people who get things dumped on them. And I don't like it for that reason. But I think there's some people who prefer it. It's not like this couldn't work with North Park, but there's more of a possibility of walking or biking to that location, from Bloomington than North Park at this time. Personally, I think that's something that can be changed fairly easily, that would be worth our pursuing, even if we aren't putting a jail there. I think people should be able to get across 69 without cars. There's also transportation is a little bit closer to the Vernal Pike site, but we're actually working with the city to, I think we're going to be able to get transportation out there. We're hoping to include a park and ride there.
Remind me the possibilities for us, that we wouldn't have a resolution on this, we'd have like a recommendation, is that what the terminology is?
Recommendation.
And do you need 2 meetings for that, or can you do it in 1 meeting? Recommendation?
In one meeting, I think you can just make the recommendation. And I'm not sure you need it to make it directly to us.
Mm.
I think that if you all are in agreement, then as representatives of the environmental committee, you could come to the public meetings and make a recommendation.
Right, any other new business?
No, sorry about that.
No worries, appreciate it. Is there a motion to adjourn?
Move to adjourn.
All right, we are adjourned, thank you all.
And there was a story on NPR the other day that was